I'm Jason Klamm, and this is the Comedy on Vinyl podcast. Today, on Comedy on Vinyl, my bathroom is your bathroom, because I'm unboxing this, the Bathtubs over Broadway soundtrack. It is coming from Mondo, mondotees.com. They sent it to me, Jason Klamm, P.O. Box 805, Burbank, California, 91503. If you want to send me something appropriate, please do. Okay, there's your invoice. There's your double thick cardboard to make sure this isn't bent. They took very good care to send this. I am told I am one of 3 people to get this in the first round. And the 3 people are Steve Young, David Wisenant, who Steve stars in the movie Bathtubs over Broadway. Dava directed it, and apparently I'm number 3, which is very nice. This is, holy cow, this is substantial. Okay, first of all, I mean, I've already seen the photo, but that is just such good, beautiful packaging. I'm going to apologize because I've got to work around this light. I know everybody else on YouTube has a ring light. That's not what I use. I prefer not to. Let's see what we got. We got this nice, I'm sure that's called something, and people will correct me, but most people are nice about it. I don't know what this little thing is, but it's an advertising strip. Anyway, original motion picture soundtrack. Oh, and it's got the score, which would explain why we've got 2 records in here, probably. Yeah, this just tells you the story of the movie if you haven't seen it, which honestly, this is one of those things where they've done a very good job of recreating, I think, the thing that Steve felt when he probably first saw one of these, which is like, why is there a pretty lady in a showgirl outfit on a tractor, and why are there notes coming out of it? I mean, that's what you would think if you saw this. I love that very much. So yeah, kind of recreating the experience you get when you're flipping through. Oh, see, and then the back is so nice, simple, black and white. I may or may not be working on a project myself right now, and might have just steal that simplicity. I mean, I love this. I love this look. It's just, and the logo is beautiful. I don't know who designed the logo. I should look that up, but it's very, very beautiful is what I just said. There is so much stuff on here. So we've got, there's a nice introduction. So the original cast of The Sound of Selling, It'll Change Your Life, My Insurance Man, Thank You Comedy Gods, score bit. A lot of brilliant score stuff on here. Oh my gosh, there's so much. I mean, I'm going to have to, what's going to happen is I'm going to end up playing some songs here and listening to them and enjoying them. And you may or may not get to hear them based on how things go, because YouTube likes to take things down even if you're talking about the thing. Fair use can't be detected by robots, as no one's ever said, but yeah, I mean, who are robots to decide what's fair? They only know 3 rules. Okay, so some delightful plastic wrap. So it's massive, right? So it's this gatefold. Oh yes, there we go. The Diesel Dazzle is on the thing, and then yeah, this is the ending of the movie. The musical number at the end of the film. It's so good. Just the sheer joy. If you haven't seen the movie, just the sheer joy of it is the reason to love this. This is so good. Let's see. Let's open it up. Let's get one of the records out. Thank you for cutting your sleeves so they're easier to come out. See? Nice little, not beveled edge. Is that a chamfer? Don't know. But this one is the red disc. Look how pretty that is. That kind of candy apple, cherry red. It's candy apple. Ooh, what's that? A little bit of fuzz. Okay. Let's see what we got. I don't know which one I grabbed. Did I grab the first disc? I think I did. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is so nice looking. And we'll give a listen, and what will happen, like I said, is you'll probably see me sitting there listening to nothing, or I'll just cut it away. Or I will sing one of the songs. That's the other option, because they won't peg that. Let's see, so we got that. Also, it's not likely that will happen, but we'll something like this. Ooh, yes. Okay, so we have the second record. Such a good color. That's such a good color blue. Final song, by the way, is The Ballad of Steve Young, which has to be played. The only thing I'm annoyed about is Steve doesn't live in L.A., I tried to convince him to live in LA in the last podcast, and he said he would do it. I guess he was being facetious, but I need him to sign this. This is just, these colors are beautiful. Whoever chose these particular rich colors, and the thing about, colored vinyl used to not be so playable. It used to sound like crap. Now that's kind of a thing of the past now. We're going to throw this on.
Little did I know. Find records to laugh at, that was the plan, but I couldn't stop singing my insurance man. Songs about diesel engine service and selling, these corporate show tunes are oddly compelling. I was digging through records at a record store. It wasn't too long before I happened to find a few more. A Ford tractor dealer show, not so easy to mock. It's by those Fiddler on the Roof guys, Harnick and Bach. The Westinghouse Appliance show had me humming, and don't look now, but the bathrooms are coming. Phase 71, it's a Kellogg's year. 86 Pepsi advertising premiere. On the go with West Clocks, going great. Silicones, I gotta investigate. Now I'm digging through records at a record show. Meeting new people and they're helping my collection to grow.
I mean, this is basically my theme song.
Sing a song of sewing, that's showbiz. Royal Typewriters telling it like it is. I got 7-Up and 7-Eleven and Red Carpet Team Rally 1977. Mattel's a poppin', the mighty O, 57 Ford introduction show.
I don't know how much of that we can play, or how much I played at all. Could have just been me silently. We'll find we'll find out if YouTube tells me no, I have to recut this and upload it again. So this is, as you can see, a playbill style booklet, and oh my goodness, and it gives you a little bit of detail on each of the songs. It's very nicely printed. The colors are all beautiful. I mean, you would expect nothing else, but people make bad stuff all the time, and this is very, very, very nice. This is very pretty, and the pictures are fantastic. Holy cow! Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is one of those that I'm just gonna have to listen to all the way through. Not right now. You're not gonna watch me listen to it. I want to play. Actually, I do want to play one more song and listen to it. You are going to watch me listen to that one. Boy, oh boy. I don't even know what else to say. It's just, this is what I expected. It's perfect. Nice, by the way. Nice matte finish on this. It's one of those that genuinely will have a place of pride in a record collection because it looks nice. It's well put together, and it's put together in a way that feels, again, like an old record. And it's simple. Whew. Yeah, I love this. This is as exciting as that Grease 2 soundtrack, but it's something new, and it's honestly not dissimilar to I think what I talked about last time on the show. I was obsessed with Grease 2, then I thought I appreciated it in an ironic way and wasn't sincere about it, and took me growing up a little bit to be a bit more sincere. And if you could have seen Steve's face when I interviewed him in person last time, he's now been on the podcast twice within a very short span of time. Because he's a lot of fun to interview. Just the sincerity, just the love for all this, it showed on his face from like, man, I've met other comedy writers who have worked on these shows, and they're all wonderful people, but I don't often get time to sit down and talk with them about something that they love this much. Other than comedy. And, he's got his own thing, and it's, I don't know. It meant a lot that he sat down with me, and that Dava had the foresight to put this together the right way. It's not, I don't know. You wouldn't necessarily peg it as, you wouldn't maybe know how to put it together immediately. And, she talks about how she didn't, she had a different approach at the beginning. And I don't know. That's one of the reasons I like the documentary so much, and I am in love with the presentation of this soundtrack. I already know I love the music. I've heard a lot of it.
Inside you knows how rich your life could be, even though most people cannot see the things you see. Take that step, shine your light.
That left turn might be right.
Don't wait for the world to say okay. Find your own way.
Find that path others missed. Life is grander with a twist. There's that knock you've heard before.
Open that door.
You may find that selling is what you're born to do. Or singing or collecting is what makes you feel like you.
Take that step, shine your light. That left turn might be right.
Don't wait for the world to say okay.
Find your own way.
You may find you're doing jazz hands.
All this stuff obviously appeals to me as somebody who loves comedy records and wants to expose people to weird and rare ones, as well as talk about the classics. But the last few years of the podcast, I've gotten more and more into talking about stuff that people haven't heard of, because, I mean, when I first did the podcast, people kind of assumed I was an expert on comedy records, and then it became this thing where it's like, I kind of had to defend that. And just be like, no, I'm not. I'm here to learn. And when it comes, at the very least, when it comes to records that nobody else has heard of, sometimes I'm the first person exposing people to it. It's rare where I'm like, have you heard of this guy, George Carlin? That almost never happens. It'd be great if it did. Actually, I can think of a few people that I might be able to be like, hey, have you heard of this guy, George Carlin? Like nieces and nephews, that kind of stuff. You know, so maybe I will have that opportunity. But for the most part, I'm interested in more obscure stuff. Just because you want to kind of help people, I don't know, you want to help people discover new stuff, and you also want to help old stuff be discovered. You want to make sure people's hard work is appreciated. However it's appreciated, although preferably sincerely. People often get into sincere love of something sideways, the way I did. I did a documentary on a sport that I thought was the stupidest thing in the world, called freestyle walking. And by the end of it, I was like, nah, this is a real thing. This is too important to people to just throw out the window and just cast aside. So, we all grow up when we grow up, or we get older, whatever. This is kind of a I don't know. It's a tribute to something that means so much to somebody and has been such a huge part of his life that it was worth making a movie about. And he's become that's the dream, is he's become friends with the people who made this stuff. And he's still writing songs with some of them, and come on. And if you listen to the last podcast with Stephen Deva, worth listening to, give a listen specifically to the section with Hank Beebe, who's one of the writers. There's a picture of him with Stephen here. It was a delight talking to that guy, and I think I'm going to have him back on just specifically on his own for separate reasons entirely. But that's just, I like speaking to these people who, I don't know, maybe never had a whole lot of opportunity to talk about their work before. So, yeah, this is a movie and an album that celebrates all this, and this is just a perfect package. I want to just keep showing it to you, but you've seen it a million times already. Pick it up. It's at mondotees.com. Sounds great. Looks fantastic. Well, thank you very much for watching me unbox a thing. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got to hear some clips. If not, give it a listen. I'm sure you can sample it on iTunes, Amazon, all that stuff. Definitely worth a listen. And thank you to Steve Young and to David Wisenant, to Hank Beebe, and also to Mondo for sending this along my way. So that's about it. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, have a good thing. Comedy on Vinyl is a production of Stolen Dress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Warden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klamm. Our theme song was composed and performed by Richard Levinson. Please visit stolendress.com to listen to our other podcasts, read our blogs, read our tweets, watch our videos, and read our books. Please subscribe on iTunes, and if you like us, give us a 5-star rating and a nice review. You can find us on facebook.com/comedyonvinyl, Twitter @comedyonvinyl, and find everything else at comedyonvinyl.com. A major portion of Comedy on Vinyl has been underwritten by Stand Up Records. Please visit standuprecords.com for all your comedy needs and tune into the new Stand Up channel available on the Roku, where you can also find select episodes of this podcast.
Hey, it's my turn.
Hi, I'm Jason Klamm.
I'm the host of the Comedy on Vinyl podcast and several others, and I run the Stolen Dress podcast network. I'm here to tell you about a new show called The Professional Blur. When I first came out to LA a few years ago, I made my money the way a lot of people do. Background acting. I'm in a little bit of everything, from stuff you probably don't remember and stuff I definitely don't remember, to movies like The Aviator or shows like Mad Men, where, when you can see me, I'm mostly out of focus. Now I'm starting a new podcast called The Professional Blur, where I interview friends and other industry folks about their experience with extra work. Sometimes they're waiting around to get a line, like myself, and don't exactly get one. Sometimes they're folks who get a line or get an entire career out of that line. This is a poker chip from the television show Las Vegas. I was advised to act drunk, but I hadn't really been drunk yet. The AD, the assistant director, stopped the shot. This is a room the size of an actual casino floor, with about 50 to 100 extras on it. He singled me out in front of all of them and said, "Hey, Mr. Stumbles, you want to tone it down a notch?" Needless to say, I acted better that day. I mean, it's a little hard to call extra work acting. It is. It can be, especially if you're really pretentious, like I was. I think you'll enjoy the behind-the-scenes stories of myself and my guests, as well as our segments like 5 and Over, where we take somebody's extra role and then you expand that into your own spin-off. Maybe my friend who had a couple of lines on Grey's Anatomy will take his EMT character and spin him off into a sitcom. Maybe my friend who is in a very famous beer commercial will take his character and give him his own dark docudrama. I haven't even thought about what I'd do. Clearly all of my characters were thieves, so please check out the Professional Blur podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you find podcasts. If you've got your own stories that you'd like us to share, write to theprofessionalblur@stolendress.com. You can send us something written, you can send us your screen captures, you can even send us a voice message and we can use it on the podcast. Also, if you want to see how this whole thing started, you can go to Instagram. I'm at Jason Klamm. My hashtag is theprofessionalblur. You can see everything that I've ever done, going back to when I was on Boomtown with Michael T. Williamson, or you can see one of my most recent being pretty heavily featured in Drunk History with Elijah Wood. If nothing else, come for the theft. I'm so sorry, Josh Duhamel.